You're listening to the Baumbastic Podcast with Andrew Ellis on Inside Arkansas.
And what's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Baumbastic Pregame Show. We are here at Foghorns once again, our happy place, our home. Things have been great. The vibes have been great here, so we just had to keep it rolling. And we'll see if the Hogs can keep it rolling and punch their ticket to the College World Series later this afternoon. Hogs and Vols getting going with Game 2 at 2 p.m. We're going to do a little bit of a pregame show. The vibes, again, are just the weather's starting to be really good. Our energy's very good. We're continuing to be very handsome ball knowers of everything, all things Razorback. And I'm happy to be here at Foghorns. And as we know, today's Baumbastic Postseason Podcast is presented by Hickey and Whole Law Partners here in Arkansas, where they handle matters such as divorce, custody, criminal, civil litigation, and more. It's Hickey and Whole Law. Things are about to get better. Boys, the Hogs are 27 outs, a mere 9 innings away from clinching their spot in the College World Series, getting back to the promised land, and sending Tennessee home packing. Are we feeling like they get it done today? How's the energy so far?
Oh, man. I feel like Sam Pittman over here. All shucks. Let me just tell you, man. Last night was fun. We did the post game here from Foghorns, and it was electric. But I loved the approach by the team. I know there was a lot of emotions, but listening to the press conferences afterwards, hearing from Van Horn, seeing the post game speech, that he always gives, it's another day at the office, business like usual. I'm feeling good. I really am. I'm feeling good. It's a great, beautiful day. It's going to be a little hotter this time around, but the fans' energy is high. The stadium's going to be high. Let's go to Omaha today, boys. Let's go to Omaha today.
I like the way that sounds, John. I mean, you were calling it yesterday. You had sweet vibes, and they took care of business in Game 1. And after you performed the way that you did, you hold down that lineup to just 2 hits. You get out of there with a victory. It would be impossible to not feel good going in this game. I know you're seeing Liam Doyle, who you touched up before. I'm sure we'll get into all of that. Nothing's over until it's over. But, man, it's the alternative would be you're facing an elimination game. There's a lot of tension, anxiety. You got a tummy ache before the game and everything. Now it's just anticipation and excitement. I can't wait to get over there. It was buzzing yesterday, and now you've got the opportunity to clinch, get that dog pile on your home field. It's going to be absolutely electric over at Baumwalker. I cannot wait to get over there.
It's been too long, boys. It's been too long.
It has been too long. I mean, 3 years is just simply an eternity for this baseball program, which I say that somewhat jokingly, but, I mean, they get to Omaha on average at least once every 3 years. And so it's definitely time for us to punch our ticket and get back to the promised land. The only thing that stands in the way is us, arguably the best arm in the country, and a very motivated, very dangerous Tennessee lineup. It's gonna be a fun one. It's gonna be a tough one. And so we're gonna break it all down, talk about the pitching matchup, present who we think our heavy hitters are going to be. But before we do that, I want to talk a little bit more about our friends over at Hickey and Whole Law. Divorce and custody cases are too important to try and face alone. Let Hickey and Whole Law provide you with persistent and diligent representation to help guide you through the entire process. They've handled thousands of family law cases and have experienced every scenario they make up. They know every case they take is important, and they strive to give each one the utmost time and care that it deserves. Hickey and Whole Law have offices across the state of Arkansas in Fayetteville, Fort Smith, Little Rock, and Mena. You can call them today at 479-434-2414, or you can check out their website, visit hickeyandwhole.com, or scan the QR code in the top right corner of your screen. It's Hickey and Whole Law. So, of course, we've got to start with this pitching matchup here and talk about Liam Doyle, who we've said his name 1,000 times. I'm sure Hog fans are sick of hearing about him. Hog fans, they hate doing that. Anytime there's an opponent that has a player that's notable, that you say their name a bunch, they get sick of it. There's so many over the years that I can think of. Liam Doyle, especially when you have the context of Arkansas scoring 8 runs on him the last time he pitched in Baumwalker Stadium. He's going to be up against Gage Wood. We got a dynamic prospect matchup. You're not going to see 2 pitchers with as good as stuff pitching around the country today. I mean, you watch all these super regional matchups. You're not going to see 2 more electric arms. You've got 2 top 50 prospects on the mound, 2 guys that have pitched against these teams before. Liam Doyle, by the way, goes 4.2 innings, gives up 11 hits, 8 runs, 6 of which were earned, 2 walks, and 10 strikeouts against Arkansas last time out. Gave up home runs to Ryder Helfrich, Logan Maxwell, and Brent Iredale. Gage Wood went 3 innings, 7 hits, 2 runs. Was able to avoid some damage a little bit, strikes out 7 and walks just 1. How excited are you guys to see these 2 electric arms who are going to be pitching with some emotion out there at Baumwalker Stadium this afternoon?
Again, it goes back to the excitement in being here for this moment. I mean, this is what you come to Arkansas for, a place like Arkansas for. And to be honest, it's a place like you go into Tennessee. You know, they're the defending champs. If you want to retain that title, you got to go through this, but you want to go through the best. You want to really see where you stack up. I don't think there's any doubt that Arkansas is one of the best teams in the country. In fact, I think you can make an argument that they're the best team left in the field. I know LSU's got something to say about it, and Tennessee's going to have something to say about it. But if you're going to be the best team, you're going to have to go through the best at some point in time. And with these individual matchups, I mean, you got the 2 of the 3 Golden Spike finalists going up against it. Vahiva didn't play his best. Not saying he was awful yesterday, but, he's wanting to bounce back. And the same thing goes for, like you said, for Liam Doyle. He didn't play great when last time he was here. And, he's going to be motivated, especially after yesterday's emotional game. And their season's on the line. If you love college baseball, I don't know how you can't be pumped up and excited, regardless of Arkansas, Tennessee fans. This is the best college baseball is going to have to offer today.
Yeah, no doubt about it. It is. It's a big time stuff matchup on the mound. I can't wait for it. I'm not going to predict Arkansas to do what it did to Liam Doyle a few weeks ago.
Be nice.
I'm not putting it past them. I'm not going to predict that. But what I will predict is that Arkansas's lineup will do exactly what they've done to every pitcher that they have faced since they left Hoover, which is put constant pressure on them. It's the clean innings against this Razorback lineup have been few and far between. They grind out at bats. Nobody looks comfortable on the mound facing these Razorbacks right now. He might pitch a good game, and he's very capable of doing it because he's elite level talent, but he's not going to be comfortable up there doing it. There's something about this Arkansas lineup right now that seems very, very dialed in. They are going to make you work, and they're going to grind you into dust over the course of a game, and I don't see that changing today.
Yeah, we always look for like the obvious storyline. You're facing the big team and you just hammer them. You just whip them. And we've seen Arkansas do that in spots like this before. We've seen them have some very emphatic super regional victories. When you're facing that big-time pitcher that the announcers are hyping up, that the losers like us are hyping up, he's a Golden Spikes Award finalist, you always want to have that definitive, you just crush him, and he's out of the game in the 3rd inning or whatever. And like you said, Arkansas is very capable of doing that. I just don't think that should be the expectation. Yeah. And like we said, coming into the series, there wasn't a ton of separation when these two teams played at Baum-Walker Stadium the first time around.
No.
There wasn't a ton of separation between these two teams yesterday when they played. I don't know if there could be less separation in terms of the scoreboard. I mean, literally. But also it's like Gage Wood, same kind of thing. Tennessee's going over there doing the same thing. They had 7 hits against him, 2 runs. They're probably looking at this as like, man, we had them on the ropes. We can get to them. They know what they're up against. Arkansas knows what they're up against. We would love for it to all be simple and easy and just a lopsided result here. But both of these teams are going to have some dynamic arms on the mound. They're going to be very motivated.
And one thing that really excites me, guys, is I know like as an athletic program this past calendar year, academic year, whatever you want to call it, I know it's different sports, but you think about basketball with Cal. All eyes were on that Arkansas-Kentucky game, and Arkansas came out on top. All eyes were on that Arkansas-St. John's game in the NCAA tournament. Arkansas came on top. All baseball eyes were on that Arkansas-Texas series here, that Arkansas-Tennessee series here. Arkansas came on top. Now, it's not to say that every team's been great and perfect and they've won every game, but it just seems like this past academic year, at least in the spring, when there was a box office game and a box office matchup in this athletic department, Arkansas has been the one that comes out on top, and I'm hoping that happens again today.
Yeah, I hope so too, man. This is going to be fascinating. It really is. Yep. Am I crazy more than how well Arkansas can hold down this Tennessee lineup for a second straight day than I am Arkansas's ability to find success against arguably the best arm in the country? Because that's kind of where I'm at. Like no disrespect to King Rooster himself over there, Gage Wood. But I think it's fair to assume at least that Tennessee will muster more than 2 hits today. You know what I mean? But can you space them out? Can you limit the damage? Because they can really avalanche you when they get some momentum going. And part of the reason you didn't hear as much of that typical chirping from them yesterday, they didn't have anything to chirp about. They had 1 hit until the last out of the game. Arkansas was really able to keep them quiet and keep them at bay. I'm not saying it has to be anywhere near the same level to that, but can you have a similar performance and kind of avoid that explosion that lineup is capable of? It's weird to me that I'm thinking more about that than I'm thinking about the ability to get to Liam Doyle.
No, absolutely. I think that's fair, completely fair. When you have an outing like that, I mean, Arkansas's pitching staff yesterday, they allow 3 runs. Really doesn't tell the story of how good they were. I mean, they only allowed like 6 base runners total, 5 or 6 base runners total. Arkansas put together such a good performance on the mound with 2 of the most high-level arms in the country. I mean, as much as we're saying about Liam Doyle and as much as we're saying about Gage Wood, the same applies to Zach Root. The same applies to Marcus Phillips. The same applies to Gabe Yackel, who might be the best pitcher in his class next year. Arkansas is always capable of putting together a performance like that. Tennessee might be the best offense in the country. If it's not Arkansas, it might be Tennessee.
Sure.
Arkansas is capable of putting together that type of performance against literally any team in the country. They did it yesterday, but Tennessee's also very capable of putting up some runs on this Razorback pitching staff. We saw them do a little bit of that the last time around. They scored 11 runs in that game, one against Zach Root and Gabe Gackel. And so, again, it's never as cut and dry, never as easy as you make it seem, as it may seem to Hog fans. But one thing that I think is going to be important is the emotion that both of these pitchers pitch with. Liam Doyle, we saw him last week yelling at the opponents, yelling at the batters, you're effed and all this. Gage Wood, we know he's like a junkyard dog. He was barking and hooting and hollering. He gets fired up. I think both of these pitchers use that to their advantage, and it fuels them. And I also think in this type of game, this type of atmosphere, it's easy to let that adrenaline take you away a little bit. And it's hard to stay level-headed, which, I don't know if these two pitchers are the poster children for level-headed necessarily, but it's going to be fascinating to see who handles that, who handles the crowd, because you've also got a pretty damn good lineup. Hell, if there were 0 people out there and you're pitching to either of these lineups, that's a tough task right there. I want to talk a little bit about the pitchers that are going to be available for both teams outside of these starters, because you look at it from Tennessee's side, they're in an elimination game. There is no tomorrow for them. How long is that leash going to be for Liam Doyle? If it doesn't go well for him early, how crazy would it be if he just, 2-3 innings and you're like, you know what, we got to get this guy out of here. You don't have the luxury of letting it play out that you maybe do in the regular season. So I want to run through some of these names that we're going to talk about that are in the bullpen for both teams. But before we do that, I want to give a shout out to our guys over at Trevero Clothing. Why spend so much money renting tuxes and suits when you can own the highest quality ones at an affordable price? That's what Trevero Clothing can provide for you, whether it's weddings, formals, black tie events. Have Trevero Clothing get you looking your best this summer. Check out their entire line on Instagram or check them out at any Dillard's near you. It's Trevero Clothing, where they dress the best version of you. So on the Arkansas side, a lot of names that we know. They only used one reliever yesterday in Gabe Gackel, who threw 25 pitches. Potentially he's available, but I'm really looking at 3 right-handed pitchers and 3 left-handed pitchers for the Arkansas Razorbacks. Parker Coyle, who was up in the bullpen yesterday, had an awesome performance last week against North Dakota State. Christian Fouch, who did not throw last week, threw in Hoover the last time he threw. He threw very well. Cole Gibbler, who also did not throw last week, he's been as good as any pitcher in this Arkansas pitching staff, definitely in this bullpen the last 3 or 4 weeks. Dylan Carter hasn't thrown in a month, it feels like. He's had some big-time outings for Arkansas this year. Would love to see him get back on the mound. Landon Beidelshees, who had a really solid outing. He looked awesome against North Dakota State. Seems like he's kind of regained his form a little bit since moving to the bullpen. I think he needed that reset a little bit. I mean, he's a guy that's been filling in that Sunday role. In the role that he is now in for this Razorback pitching staff, I feel like he's really overqualified. And Will McIntyre, of course, who was kind of the difference maker, the X factor that ended up putting Tennessee away in that series early on. We'll see if we get to hear from him. On the Tennessee side, there's really only 3 high-level arms that Tennessee has not used in this series. A.J. Russell, who's a big-time prospect, was a former weekend starter, now a closer. He did not pitch yesterday. Nate Snead, who is their closer that throws 100, was their closer all last year during the College World Series. He has not been as good this season. Was the losing pitcher in their lone loss last weekend. I'm sure we will see him. Arkansas also roughed him up pretty bad the first time around. And Austin Breedlove, who threw twice against Arkansas last time, threw pretty well. Maybe not necessarily one of their top guys, but he's had some good outings against Arkansas. The good news for Arkansas is Tennessee used 4 arms yesterday. The bad news for Arkansas is those arms, let me do this math real quick, threw a combined 26 pitches. Does that sound right? Dylan Lloyd throws 1 pitch. They're lefty. Braden Krenzel, freshman right-hander, throws 3 pitches. Brandon Arvidsson throws 12 pitches out of the bullpen. He's really been their best left-handed arm out of the bullpen. Tanner Franklin, another guy that throws 100, he throws 10 pitches. And so for the Arkansas side, you'd like to feel like you kind of have that advantage, but it's going to be all hands on deck for Tennessee. They're not going to leave any stone unturned in an elimination game.
Wasn't it kind of funny, to think back to Tony Vitello's comments about not overthinking and, everything like that. And then he goes, 1 pitch, get him out. 1 batter, get him out. And it was kind of doing the one batter, the lefty on lefty, whatever he had to do there yesterday. But I'm sure there was some strategy involved, and most of those arms will be available there for sure. I'm really anxious. I'm getting to the point here where I'm getting antsy, like some of these guys that we haven't seen pitch since Hoover, or even before that, that I'd really like to see them get out there and see what they have. I mean, you talk about an Arkansas staff that has some live arms in there, extra live when you got that much rest behind you. I would love to see what that radar gun's looking like for a guy like Fouch. If he comes out there after not throwing for a couple weeks, he might be humming in there at 102. Who knows?
Yeah, and also to add to that, it's nice that Arkansas is in a situation where it's not been perfect postseason, but it's been perfect because you've won every game. In the pitching side of things, I don't know how you could ask for anything better for what you had last weekend and even right now where you have so much selection. You mentioned some of these guys, and it's just nice to know, we haven't seen this guy in a month, and it has nothing to do with injury. It has nothing to do with because they've been terrible. Yeah, it's because you just haven't needed them. And so it's going to be fascinating to see if, how they handle, if they have to come in, what they do there and the situations of what Arkansas finds themselves in. But it's just such a great thing. And I think, guys, and maybe you guys saw this tweet, and I think it's true, but did they say on the broadcast last night that 40% of, maybe we can say the stat, what was it, of 98-mile-an-hour pitches or more?
Yeah, of all the pitches in college baseball this year that have been thrown 98 miles an hour or harder, 40% of them have come from Arkansas or Tennessee.
That's insane.
I mean, you guys talk about Tanner Franklin's the guy that throws 100 for Tennessee. We saw him yesterday. Nate Snead touches 100 a lot. Liam Doyle can touch 100. Gage Wood has not touched 100, but he can certainly be in that mix. And we're talking about 98. All these guys throw 98. Bouch certainly going to be in that mix as well. Like Arkansas, I mean, there's a lot of, again, we say talent and just stuff. These two teams might be the most talented teams in the country, and that stat is kind of mind-blowing, isn't it?
Especially when you throw in Zach Root, who now apparently can throw 98, 99.
Apparently now is a power pitcher, Zach Root. How about that? Well, we're going to talk about a little bit more about this matchup, but we're going to talk about our heavy hitters. We have to give our preemptive heavy hitters. We're getting closer, right? We our first times we were kind of a little bit off. You got the JT one, but me and John, we went with Bernard and Cahillo Lawyer, didn't do anything. We're starting to get closer. We're circling
consistent.
It. I think we're getting close to it. But before we do that, actually, no, we want to pull up the HD roofing and construction one. I don't have the HD roofing and construction one pulled up.
And they don't have it memorized already?
I don't have it all, but I know that you can get a free inspection. I know that you can count on their professionalism. I know that you can count on Gary McCullum. I pulled up Radiant Elements Medical Spa, which I guess we can shout out them as well.
Yeah.
We'll shout out Radiant Elements Medical Spa as well, because there's no doubt that tough workouts deserve a tough recovery at Radiant Elements Medical Spa. Their deep tissue, sports massage, and infrared sauna help you bounce back faster, hit the weights harder, and stay in the game. And for you guys wondering what to give your special someone for that special occasion, Radiant Elements Medical Spa have all different types of services to make it the best gift ever. Check them out in the Weddington Plaza next to the Lion's Mane Barbershop, or use the QR code right here at the top right corner of your screen. Get 15% off your first services. But our HD roofing and construction heavy hitters, Curtis, you've been crushing this. You actually, I said we've been struggling, but you had Charles Davalon yesterday, who had maybe the most important hit of the game. You had Justin Thomas, who had the most important hit in the regional final. Who you got today? Who's your big guy?
I'm going to have some stuff to add on what I think you guys are going to go with here in a minute. And I told you guys something before we started, and I almost wavered away from it, but I'm not going to. My heavy hitter is going to be Ryder Helfrich.
There you go.
He just continues to do good things, and we continue to not pick him, and it's kind of ridiculous, especially when we've been the bandwagon for the Ryder Helfrich train here. So, correct me if I'm wrong. Did you say earlier that he was one of the guys who left the yard on Liam Doyle last time?
Yeah. I think it was Iredale. I have the list right here. It was Helfrich, Maxwell, and Iredale. I feel like I vaguely remember that Helfrich home run.
Okay, and I'm not even going to call a home run. And this one, I was going to call my shot, but I'm not going to do that. I think he's going to get a pair of doubles today.
There you go.
Pair of doubles, Ryder Helfrich. That's where I'm going.
Well,
I like that.
Hey,
swinging a big stick.
Nobody hits a prettier 84-degree launch angle, 312-foot home run than Ryder Helfrich. I mean, it's just pure. It is pure.
I mean, when you're dinking and dunking them over the fence out there, then you're locked in, man.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you this, for my heavy hitter, it's weird because it may be the easy answer or the opposite answer, but I don't see it that way because of just how many other players have stepped up. But give me Vahivo Loy.
I love this.
I mean, because, listen, he is a guy that in the regional dominated. I mean, he looked locked in. He had 2 home runs in a single game. He seemed to get back to form. And then yesterday, he had a couple of tough swings there. And then I believe at his last at bat, he hit one, and he gave it a ride. It looked good, but just didn't get out of there. And I started to think, okay, maybe it's the pressure of the Golden Spikes, thinking that he has to perform well. I don't know. But again, when it comes down to the moments, I keep bringing up moments, but you're going to have 2 of the 3 finalists for the Golden Spikes going at each other. I think Aloy is going to be the guy that's locked in. I think Aloy is going to be the guy that takes advantage of it. And I think that if he does, guys, if he goes out there against Liam Doyle and say gets a homer and a double or whatever it is, just does some good things, that's going to put him right in front of the Golden Spikes Award, because those people are going to be looking at that matchup to be like, forget that Florida State kid. What about this? What about this one-on-one matchup?
Oh man,
if Ahiva does it and Arkansas goes to Omaha on top of that, crown him right now.
John. I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm glad we talked about this beforehand, because I was going to do the same thing that you're doing here. And so I appreciate the pick here for sure. I love the idea of best on best, sacks on scale, who's the heaviest, and I think it's going to be Aloy. I absolutely love that pick.
I love that pick too, and he was he was mere feet away from having like that iconic Charlie Welch-esque, that Jalen Battles-esque moment. And for a guy like Vahiva Aloy, who might be the best player in the country, he's the heart and soul of this team. Not the loudest, personality guy, but you can tell these guys really rally behind him. They get so fired up whenever he makes big plays. Like when you have your guy go out there and deliver a blow like that, especially if it comes against a pitcher like Liam Doyle, that's something that can take this Arkansas dugout and just put their confidence through the roof. I thought he had that moment yesterday. I want him to get that moment today. He kind of had that against Creighton last week, where it was kind of like his signature Golden Spikes moment. I think they even tweeted out Golden Spikes him. I'm going to roll with Justin Thomas. One, because a shout out to this beautiful shirt here. I mean, JT coming. For those that don't know what this is a reference to, it's his walk-up song, which is very simple. These are the lyrics. That's the song. Shout out to the young woman who came by earlier and said that her son was one of the guys that was, maybe following that Tennessee team around, but apparently delivered Uber Eats. Is that what she said? Delivered Uber Eats to someone at Tennessee who was ordering a bunch of Red Bulls. And apparently he told him, it's not enough Red Bulls for Vahiva Aloy, but they also were playing JT's walk-up song. So by the time these Tennessee guys leave Fayetteville, they're going to have that song stuck in their head forever. And we talked about it yesterday with Reese Robinette. There's so many guys in this Razorback lineup that have the ability to hurt you. I mean, 8 of them have double-digit home runs, or I guess 8 of them will whenever Justin Thomas hits his 10th home run today. You don't see that much. There's so many guys that make you stress, that make you worry. And I think Brent Iredale is set up to succeed in that 7th spot, because he's kind of fallen out of that middle range where maybe you overlook him a little bit. But I think Justin Thomas and Reese Robinette there at the bottom of the lineup can flip this thing over. It's kind of that way. When you go into a matchup and you're expecting your heavy hitters to be your top players, your most talented pieces, when you get that extra spark from the bottom of the lineup, it just takes you over the top. Justin Thomas might be the most accomplished 9-hole hitter in the country.
Honestly,
he really might be. And I just feel like he's a quick, like, energizer bunny for this Razorback lineup. When he starts getting on base, which he's done a lot of this year, at one point he was leading the team in OBP. I feel like he's a guy that gets overlooked a good bit. I overlooked him when he first got to campus. Hell, I didn't think he was going to be a starter at Arkansas. He's proven me wrong, and he's proven a lot of people wrong. I hope he makes a lot of money this summer.
That dude's hitting top of the order for 90% of the teams in the country.
Oh, man,
100%.
easily.
Yeah.
It seems like it was such a two things real quick. One, it seemed like that 9-hole hitter at Arkansas, but a lot of places just seemed like a wasted spot of like, okay, well, we got to put somebody there. Even if they're terrible, it's like you got to put them there. Justin Thomas is not that. I mean, he's a great hitter. But also on that note, can I make another bold prediction about my heavy hitter?
Absolutely.
Vahiva Aloy. Not only does he have it, his hit, his home run, if you will, 2 or 3 run bomb, maybe even a grand salami, is what takes Liam Doyle out of the game. After that, after he knocks an absolute piss missile into the hog pen, Tony Vitello comes out and says, "You're done." That's what's going to happen today.
Yeah. Now go hand the ball to your replacement.
Yeah, go hand it to him. Yeah.
We got to talk to Tony about that. When he comes to Arkansas,
man. We ain't doing
we're
this.
not doing that. You don't
stuff,
hand the
man.
ball to the next pitcher. That's just not how we
lame.
get down. I don't like that at all. Well, let's get in the chat and see what these guys have to say, because I'm sure Razorback Faithful is fired up, hydrated. They're out of church. I hope everyone went and worshiped the Lord this morning, and there's a good bit of them out at Foghorns. We have not gotten a hog call yet, right?
No, not yet. Not yet. We're
close.
saving
We'll
it.
get a hog call here soon.
Yeah.
But shout out to our guy Whitty. He says you can't drink all day if you start in the morning. If you don't start in the morning, this is true.
Words.
This is a fact.
And love to see. Wouldn't expect anything less from our guy Whitty there. And Hayden Ulmer, who is he here today? Is he in the building today?
I have not
seen him yet.
I'm about to say I've not seen him slouched over.
He'll be waking up here in about 30
breathing
minutes.
heavily. So yeah, he'll be here in a bit, I'm sure.
But he says heavy hitter today will be Phil's Omaha call. Of course, Phil Elson. We were talking about it right before we went live. Maybe his best call to Omaha, because of course it's a big moment when you're an announcer, you're a play-by-play guy. when that big moment happens, whether it's a big home run or your team wins the national championship, your team goes to Omaha, that's like a thing you can't mess up.
Yeah.
And it's such a big moment, and Phil crushes it every single time. We were saying it in 2019, I think his best one where they're coming to Omaha, and this time they're coming for the whole damn thing.
Yep.
And he was like, shouting out the corners of the state. Love all that. Just sucks that Arkansas went 2 in a barbecue in that year that he put out his best performance.
Iconic call, man.
Iconic call, and I mean it would be more iconic had Arkansas not stunk in Omaha that year. But I am fascinated to see what Phil's call. I mean, because that's something he's got to be sitting there thinking about, right?
Oh, has to be. I mean, not to, as the radio guy and experience here, my play-by-play. No, I've always thought about that. If I ever did play-by-play, I'd have that sucker written out like from when even before the season started. If I felt like there was a chance, I'd have it. And I'd have it right there ready to read, or even if I had to remember, whatever it is. But yeah, you definitely know he's been thinking about it.
It's the same thing as like in journalism, man. If you're going to a title game or whatever, you have the lead to your story written. It's ready, and then you just fill in the rest from there.
Yeah, I remember in 2022 when I was in Omaha covering for back in my journalistic days. I remember like making that realization and starting to get stressed out about it, where I was like, well, how am I going to write that story that's like, hey, Arkansas won the freaking national championship?
Oh, man.
Like, how do you even word that? I'm glad that I'm able to do it now with actual words, speaking them. But I know I'm going to be an emotional wreck. I mean, I'll probably be a little bit emotional even today if they end up clinching it, or tomorrow, whatever ends up happening. Hell, I'll definitely be emotional if they don't clinch it tomorrow.
Yeah, no kidding.
But no, I'm going to be an absolute mess. Y'all are going to have to carry me through that post-game reaction if they win the national title in Omaha.
Oh, we got you, buddy.
Yeah,
we got you.
Hold on a second. As the guy the only one of us who's actually cried multiple times on live streams, you're acting like I'm just going to be in solid oak over here if Arkansas wins the College World Series. I'm going to be the waterworks over here. So Curtis, it may just be solo time for you.
That's
over there.
fine. I got this covered. Listen, I would much prefer the pressure of that than the way Arkansas. The way it went down at San Francisco in the Sweet 16 and having to go live immediately after that and be like,
yes, true.
So that happened.
Yeah.
But to your point about that story, Andrew, I still have saved in a Google Doc the lead to my story that would have been written had Arkansas ended Coach K's career in advance of the Final Four.
That would have been
spent a long time on that one for no reason.
The good news is, John, I've got a bet that might cash today. I got this at Saracen, actually. I got the over 1.5. Back at the beginning of the academic calendar year of times John Neighbor cries after a win over a Tennessee team. I got the over at 1.5 at 9-1 odds. So, John, there's a lot of pressure on you today, buddy. Just saying.
It depends. I'll say this. Depends on how they win. If they win because they just beat the crap out of them, I'll be fine. But if they win because, like, say if Kendall Diggs came in and hit the go-ahead home run or something like, dude, I'd be I don't know if I can go on camera. I may just have to just lay down over here in Foghorns.
You know, it sucks. Arkansas cannot win via walk-off.
I know. It's so stupid.
I know. Everybody get your complaints out now. Arkansas will not be the home team. It's stupid. It's not our fault. We didn't choose it, but we just live with the circumstances that we're given.
NCAA sucks.
Hey, they do. Hunter Ratio says JT won't be the only one coming if we win, which, hey. Love that. Shout out to John Pigman. Says, can't wait for this game today. Try. Did y'all see the Razorback baseball account tweeted out boots? What the hell? Send John Pigman send him a little something.
His royalties, man. He's
seriously, like he brought that to our attention. I don't even think it's his video, but still, John Pigman has set the tone for the week big time.
Hey, real quick, you might just want to bring up this one too from Camo Hog, where he says Trevero may make an ad suits.
I like that stuff.
That was good.
We're gonna throw that into the read.
Yeah. Shout out to Keno Appreciator. Says Doyle is a fine pitcher, but it is a down pitching year when he is the best pitcher in college baseball. So this is actually a true statement. Like if you just compared, and Doyle has had a great year. I mean, he's been awesome. He's got 150 strikeouts, or 158 strikeouts. Sorry, 158 strikeouts and 30 walks in 92 innings. That's big time stuff. He's got a 2.84 ERA. Like he is very good. He's got electric stuff. But if you just compare it to some of the past seasons, he's had a worse season than Hagen Smith had last year, and he didn't win the Golden Spikes. He's obviously had a worse year than Kevin Kopps. Hell, you even compare his numbers to Isaiah Campbell's junior year at Arkansas. It's actually like there's been a lot in Isaiah Campbell. I don't even know was a first team All SEC type of guy. Paul Skeens, of course, had a much better year than that. Like it is a little bit of a down year for pitching, but honestly, I think the level of competition in college baseball this year, there's like the most parity there's ever been. Like there's not a ton of dominant players. Because I think you could say the same about Vahiva Aloy, where Vahiva wins the Heisman, if he wins the Golden Spikes, you compare it to some of these other ones, like what Condon did last year at Georgia. Like, it doesn't really stack up. But I think that's just kind of how this year's been in college baseball.
Yeah. It's gonna be like when Mark Ingram won the Heisman.
Yeah, that was the worst Heisman ever.
It was terrible. It was terrible.
Other than Troy Smith. Jeff Gordon. I wonder if this is the Jeff Gordon. He says,
Looks like it.
I hope that Liam Doyle is like Brady Singer at Florida in 2018, a legit stud that just gets lit up every time he faces Arkansas. Yeah, I mean, that's what's funny is that, like, there is a precedent for this exact thing. A pitcher who might be the best in college baseball that just Arkansas has their number. You go back and look at it. Liam Doyle was at Ole Miss last year. He started his career at Coastal, who's now headed to Omaha. Then he goes to Ole Miss. Did not have a great year there. Got roughed up against Arkansas last year in Fayetteville. Got roughed up in Fayetteville this year. Like, there's something to that, man. And so it's funny.
Every Superman has a kryptonite, so why doesn't Liam Doyle?
Yep.
It might just be a hog.
And Hogs love left-handed pitchers for whatever reason. I never thought I would say that. Hogs love facing left-handed arms. Sweet Arkansas gal, we love her. We appreciate her. She says, Batesville, Gage Wood. We are so excited for our hometown hurler. Absolutely. I mean, Gage Wood, he is Arkansas. And it is always cool. I'm not one of those guys that's like, hey, you got to have the whole roster be from Arkansas. But it definitely means a little something extra. I love what Matt Hobbs said last week when he was talking to the team, and he was like, he said he almost got emotional watching Gage Wood pitch his 6th inning against Creighton. He said, because I knew how much it meant to him. And he was like, if we can have everyone on this team care as much as this guy does, we're going to do special things. And Arkansas is in the process of doing some special things. Gage Wood, man, like nobody, there's no place on earth that kid would rather be than right out there on that mound pitching against Tennessee today. Really excited to watch him pitch. Tuna's House of Influence says, going to miss the first couple innings due to a beautiful day to be outside. On my way to get a round of disc golf in. Feeling confident, though. Listen, disc golf is a fun time. I'm not going to knock disc golf. It's fun. I like Ultimate Frisbee better, though.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can co-sign. This is crazy behavior, Tuna's House of Influence. We are in the foxhole at war. We are at war, and you're out here going to play disc golf. I mean, it is a beautiful day, but that's a little crazy, right?
It seems like high confidence.
Yeah,
well, this is just going to go well,
dude. You can be outside and watch the game at the same time.
Yeah, listen to it at least something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
By the way, we were talking about the shirt earlier. Sweet Arkansas gal does want to know what the shirt means. Yeah, it's JT Justin Thomas Jr.'s walk-up song is a song by an artist, a female artist named JT, and the lyrics are literally JT coming, JT coming. JT coming. And it's a great walk-up song. And I had to get a shirt to commemorate it. Shout out to Hillary who made this shirt, pressed it up together. Really good stuff. John Hamm, which is just a great name, and a ball knower for sure. He says, heavy hitter Parker Coyle going to come in and shut him down for the final 4 innings.
Wow.
Yeah, Parker, what did he throw? 3 1/3 last week against North Dakota State?
Yeah.
Parker Coyle, certainly a guy that Arkansas could stretch out. I will settle for him coming in and getting out some of these big left-handed bats. We talk about it a lot with Tennessee, all the danger that's in that lineup. For me, it all is those top 2 hitters, Keelan and Fisher, both left-handed. Those are the ones that keep me up at night. Don't be surprised if you see Parker Coyle come in into a massive situation against those 2 guys, and could be a big factor in this series. Josie Wales says Andrew Fisher will be a major run producer, ... in Banana Ball someday.
Wow.
This is a great comment. I mean, just objectively, no notes. This is a perfect comment. I love this. Yeah.
He has the personality for it. I'll give him that.
Yeah. I mean, he definitely does. Tennessee baseball, they were really inspired by Banana Ball. Like,
yes,
they love it. The party animals or whatever it is that's over there. Hunter Ratio says, I love how Coyle went from giving up 50 home runs against TCU a couple years ago, a freshman I know, to being our go-to guy to advance to Omaha. No, this is perfectly fine. I mean, dude, I think back to that 2023 year. Dylan Carter was a guy that got thrust into so many big situations. I mean, you had Jackson Wiggins goes down with an injury. Hunter Holland was banged up the entire season. Dylan Carter, who got thrust into some of those situations. Brady Tigert goes down. Dylan Carter tears his UCL as well. So then you just had guys that Arkansas had to thrust into these situations that they just simply weren't ready for. Christian Fouch was among that. Ben Bybee was among that. Parker Coyle was certainly in that mix as well. That had to take their lumps. I think all 3 of those guys had like an ERA of like 750 or something like that their freshman years, and they threw a ton of innings for Arkansas. But they were molded by that fire, man. They were born in it, and they've come out of the other end of it looking great. And it is cool to see that journey and see kids. I mean, we don't see this in college sports a ton. The guys that stick around and get better year over year, and then by the time they're a junior or senior, they're pretty damn good.
Yeah. No, it was also like development happens in the program or something like that.
It is crazy how you're allowed to do that sometimes with some programs. Shout out to our guy Timothy Long. I feel like we haven't heard from him in a minute. He says, I hope they can keep it going. Hate going into game 3. We have to make Omaha. These are all true statements. I mean, listen, you'll take it however you can get it. But, man, it would certainly be nice to not have to come to work tomorrow. Right?
I am not entertaining the possibility of a game 3 unless I have to.
Yeah. Listen, I love Baum-Walker Stadium. I never want to go in there again for the rest of the year.
Yeah, seriously.
I don't want to go there for the rest of the year. This needs to be the last time I go into Baum-Walker Stadium, except for when the trophy celebration happens after the College World Series.
The parade ends there.
Yes, that's the only reason I want to go back into Baum-Walker this year.
I want to get you guys' thoughts on this because we've talked about this a lot, how Arkansas has got a lot of their top guys that have not thrown in a while. But Trey says, does it worry you guys about our pitchers who haven't pitched in a while, could come in and be great, but also might struggle finding the zone? I mean, again, nobody really knows the answer to this because it's like, who the hell knows what Christian Fouch has been doing the last couple of weeks? Who the hell knows what Cole Gibler's been doing the last couple of weeks? I would imagine those guys are pretty locked in, and I do love that they got them some ABs and got to have them throw against hitters on the field.
Yeah,
and all
they've
that.
been throwing. They've been doing their pins. They just haven't pitched in a game. Okay.
Is it going to concern you a little bit seeing Christian Fouch come in first time in a couple weeks?
I mean, no, because it's like no matter what damned if you do, damned if you don't. Because if you've been throwing him all the time, and people are like, oh, maybe he's exhausted, maybe fatigue's going to be setting in. Maybe he's thinking too much about it. It's like it doesn't, like you said, everybody's different. Personalities are different. I think some players are at their best when they're doing stuff constantly getting in reps all the time, getting in those moments. And there's other players that do better when they get to kind of spread it out a little bit, take a little time off, and then step back into it. So I don't think there's any right or wrong answer. But don't worry, whatever decision that Dave makes, if it goes bad, it's the wrong one. But if it goes great, it's the right one. It's just the way it's going to be.
It's 100% right. By the way, did you see her carrying that tray? There had to have been 15 beers on that tray.
I know.
Like, no big deal.
I was going to bring it up, but I was like, I
crazy,
was afraid to ask who it was going to. At first, I thought it was going to my buddy Brendan over here. He had 15 beers going on draft, but I have to say,
good word.
That's they got the best type of staff here too, because I don't know. I don't know if all of us could able to carry 15 draft beers, mind you.
Yeah,
and one bottles.
That's
a drop spilled.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
We'll see you later, which appears to be a podcast. Says big game Cam is going to do damage today. Cam Kojal, man, it's hard not to have confidence when that dude's up at the box. Of course, he's an Omaha boy. He has said it 1,000 times now. Every day he thinks about playing in Omaha. Of course, that's his hometown. He's 27 outs away, man. I'm excited for that opportunity for him. He can smell it. He can smell that blood in the water. He wants to get to Omaha, and you could see how bad he wanted it with the way he was playing yesterday, man.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to Barbara Blaine, who gave us.
Yes.
Was this our first ever in-person super chat?
I think so. I mean, unless you guys are putting some stuff under the table from other people, then I don't know about it. But I think it is.
I don't know, but we appreciate Barbara Blaine comes by and just whips out the wallet and was like, "Hey, she's like, I can't give you the super chat, but I want to give you some cash and
get you something nice."
She was great. I've seen her. She taps in with us all the time. I see her on Twitter. See her in the comments all the time. Really appreciate it. Love any Hog fan that's just dedicated like that.
Oh, she was a sweetheart. Appreciated the well wishes for the incoming kiddo.
Yeah.
She even gave her condolences to Quinn.
And
Auburn. So she is very much tapped in. Said her husband's on her all the time for watching us every day at noon. I love it, man.
Yeah.
You can always tell who really is watching because they'll say something like that. Like if you reference Quinn, you're watching.
You're one of us.
You're one of us for sure. And so I always appreciate that. Whereas you have sometimes people that are kind of recognize one or two of us and they're like, you guys do something right. And you're like, yeah. But you can tell when it's someone who really authentically loves the Hogs, loves what we do. And we appreciate that. And she said she ran into Charles Davalon yesterday. Said his family feels the love from Hog Nation.
Very good.
Always love that. Vince Remy says, forgot we were the away team. Hate that. Yeah, it
sucks.
There's no other way around it. It does kind of suck, but I ain't worried about it. We're not going to look back in a decade and be like, well, we went to Omaha and we beat Tennessee, but we were the visiting team, so it wasn't cool.
Well, have they announced what color jerseys they're wearing today?
Let me see if Mark Taylor.
They definitely did.
I really hope they're doing reds, but I don't think they're going to. I think it's going to be the grays. Either the grays or
I don't think it was red.
Did the Razorback?
I think it was the Razorback account.
Well, I guess whatever he wore against Tennessee last time at home, then do it. So it's the grays.
It's
okay.
grays.
All right. I mean, one of these days though, I'll see the reds again.
Yeah. Ozzy, known legend of the Razorback fan base, says Iredale had a quiet 2-for-3 day yesterday. I think he goes yard today. I like this pick. It would be fitting. I've been riding with Brent Iredale as my heavy hitter for like a month now for him to homer as soon as I go away from it. But he did homer against Liam Doyle before. What a way to answer some questions about if you can hit the heat, if you turn on a Liam Doyle fastball.
I mean, that's one way to do it for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. No Sheep Sherlock says, okay, if we win, you got to do the recap after 10 shots apiece. Good luck and go Hogs. Why do we have to do 10 shots?
That is a bad idea.
I said we're gonna be dead. Like, I mean, that's just not gonna be the case. So, no, I think our shots of adrenaline from the game will be sufficient.
Well, and also we got to wait until once the stream ends. That's when we can really start celebrating and really start drinking. But
we may do a dog pile here of our own here in Foghorns. You know,
yeah, that would be
and wake up in it the next morning.
I like that. You know who will not be at that dog pile is Hayden Ulmer, who says y'all have to do it without me today. Driving back up from my nephew's party, cookout at a friend's. Champagne and cigars are ready.
All right.
Well. Hopefully, it's not going to be your fault if they blow it, but
we will blame you,
John.
If John is willing to sacrifice you, I am willing to blame you if Arkansas loses today.
I am too.
Yeah. Well, boys, it's about that time. This is the closest we've gotten to actual first pitch of doing our pregame show.
Good.
Man, I'm excited. I'm nervous. I'm anxious. It's not the end of the world if you win in 3, but damn, it would feel good to win in 2. All week long, I think on the television, which I don't know if you guys know, I was on television the other day. I think I did predict Hogs in 3, and I've kind of felt that way all week. But now that I'm here, I'm like, I don't know. I think they could just go ahead and win today.
I think that's a good idea. I think they should do that. No funny business.
No, none at all. In fact, I think, guys, real quick, both these teams going into this game should not feel bad about what happened yesterday for their own reasons. Arkansas, we talked about, didn't get the guys in like they should have in scoring position, still found a way to win. Tennessee didn't throw their ace and gave Arkansas all that they wanted and came up just a little bit short. So both teams should be going into this one feeling good about what the spot they're in, but I'm going to stick with it. Hogs in 2. We go to Omaha today, and tomorrow we get the plans, and then on Wednesday we make our trek up there to the fine state of Nebraska and see how the Razorbacks fare as the final 8 teams. I think it happens today.
Love it. I love that energy. I love the vibes in here in Foghorns, and we appreciate them for real. Once again, cannot say it enough. Thank you so much to Foghorns for letting us kick it, taking us in, embracing us with open arms.
Yep.
And we might just never leave. We might just have to do this, until Arkansas loses a game, which could be never. But seriously, we appreciate Foghorns. We appreciate everybody for tapping in and appreciating the content. It's been a fun edition of the Baumbastic Pregame Show. Reminder, we will be back live right after the game. Might just be Curtis and I for a little bit because John's going to be.
I'm going to be crying apparently.
Wiping his tears.
If you see John, if you're not watching the game and you're just going to rely on the post game, if you see John, that means Arkansas lost.
Yes,
because that means that there was not a dog pile for YouTube video and all that fun stuff. But it's going to be a fun day. It's going to be a fun, hotly contested battle. It's going to come down to the wire. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tense. This is what you want to be. This is the spot you want to be in. This is the stage you want to be on. We appreciate everybody for tuning in. It's been a brilliant edition of the Baumbastic Pregame. We will see you later tonight to recap Arkansas's thrilling Omaha clinching win over the Tennessee Volunteers.